Hi, it's Jamie Dragosta, and it is time for a daily dose of momentum. And today I want to keep talking about the same idea about vision, but I want to get into a little bit more detail, and I want to specifically talk about why diets don't work, and perhaps maybe maybe you want to find somebody that's on the same diet program as you, or has the same goal and objective as you, or maybe even you might want to tap into a coach system. And one of the things that really strikes me very profoundly is a saying that we are the books that we read, the movies that we watch, and the people that we hang out with. And if you think about that saying, you got to wonder why is that? Why do we become the people that we hang out with, or the books that we read, or the movies that we watch? Well, I want to explain that a little bit more in detail today, and I want to give you the concept of hypnosis. Now, if you know what hypnosis is, basically it is not something where if you get up on stage, a hypnotist is going to make you do all kinds of crazy things and they get total mind control over you and you don't remember any of it. That is not mind control. That is stage hypnosis, and that is a game that's being played. Even if you are the person selected, you have to be willing and open to the ideas and the suggestions, and you still do those consciously. But you are in a more of an unconscious state, but you're definitely aware of what's going on. So let me give you an example. I grew up in a small town, and a lot of dirt roads where I grew up, and so sometimes during the rainy season or after it's been the snow is melting, a lot of these trucks, when they're driving, they will create ruts in the road. And then when the mud dries, then then there's a rut. Now I remember as a kid riding our bikes, sometimes it was a game to try and stay in the ruts. Well, when you think about, repetition over and over and over, like watching a movie or listening to music or hanging out with certain people, what ends up happening is our subconscious or our unconscious mind develops neural pathways. And something that we do over and over and over and over, we create a rut, if you will. We create a smooth pathway. And it's nerves, definitely it's nerves, but it's nerves that are creating such a repeated motion over and over that after a while we go from a conscious state to an unconscious state, like tying your shoes. When you were little, you were really concentrating on the fact of tying your shoes, and after a while you learned it, and then you didn't have to think about it. Then you could actually tie your shoes unconsciously. So you move from a state of consciousness to unconsciousness. Now let's talk about dieting and weight loss. When we have certain habits, like waking up in the morning, I like coffee, so one of the first things that I generally do is I have a habit of going and making some coffee, and that's part of my routine. Now, for some people, they don't drink coffee, so they have a different habit. Now, if I were to continue to do that over and over and over, for how long does that all of a sudden become unconscious? So I could actually kind of wake up through the morning and kind of zombie through the bedroom and zombie into the kitchen and make a pot of coffee and not even realize I'm making a pot of coffee because the repetition is happening so much. And so what ends up happening is, if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to do this in a manner that is permanent, what you have to recognize is how your body communicates and how your body talks to you. And so part of how that does is through intuition, through feelings, and through synchronicities. And synchronicities is definitely something we're going to talk about, especially if you're on the subscription program. We get into that quite a bit. If you're in the coaching program, definitely we're going to focus on that quite a bit. But I want you to think of this, if you look at my hand, it's got all these ruts and bumps, and it's definitely not smooth. And let's say that this is my unconscious mind, and what I do is my unconscious mind controls all of my thoughts, all of my actions, all of my behaviors. But then let's say that I happen to take, right now I have a paper towel here by my desk, and if I were to take the paper towel and put it over my wrist and wet this, I could mold this paper towel but the paper towel is going to be molded to the grooves of my fist. Now, we could let this paper towel represent the conscious mind and this represent the unconscious mind. So if I have a goal, for example, let's say that I don't want to drink soda pop anymore. Well, the idea of not drinking the soda pop is a conscious thought, okay? Now, if I have a habit of drinking a soda pop, like say I'm driving to work and the very first thing that I do is pull up a soda pop or go to 7-Eleven or whatever and grab a soda pop, well, that becomes a habit. Well, if I recognize that I don't want that habit anymore, what I'm basically doing is I'm telling my subconscious mind or my conscious mind that I want to do something different. But keep in mind that the paper towel is now folded to all the grooves. But if my unconscious mind, which is the majority of who I am, has a habit, now I have a wet paper cloth trying to fight the battle of overcoming something that I've been doing for an entire lifetime. So the only way that you can break the habits that don't serve you, you first of all have to become aware of them. And sometimes that's the reason that you hire a coach or that you join a support group is so that you could become more aware of that, and then you learn the tips and the tricks in order to overcome that habit, that behavior. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of all of the goals and objectives, because you have to have that image. And if the image that's on your conscious mind is something that is not in line with your unconscious grooves or the patterns that you've been having, well, then you've got to make some changes, right? And how you make those changes are you're constantly thinking about the unconscious mind. You're creating a picture. But this is something that has to be done every day, continually, every day. There is no I'll take a month off or a year off. It is constant, it is consistent, because your unconscious mind is always there, but your conscious mind always has the ability to make the changes. But it is your conscious mind that controls the unconscious mind, but the unconscious mind controls the thoughts and the behaviors. So it is definitely a reciprocal response. And so for today, the daily momentum is whatever your goal and objective is, whether it is to lose weight or whether it is to gain weight, whether it is to heal a disease or to do something different to achieve that goal of the ideal body. What I want you to do is just focus on that goal, focus on the objective. And if you have any thoughts and questions, please feel free to email me at jamie@jamie.gosta. Make sure that you like and share not only the videos on YouTube, but also on Facebook. And let's get some people that are part of the system that want to lose weight and search for that ideal body. So appreciate that, everyone, and we will talk to you